Good day, everyone. I'm Jeremy Recalme, the next reporter. Assessment of evaluating student. What is assessment and evaluation? So, assessment is the process of gathering information from a variety of sources that accurately reflect how well students are achieving the curriculum expectation. So, ang assessment is the information gathered and synthesized by teachers about their students. It choose assessment when you wish to determine educational strategies, like identify the areas of improvement and identify weaknesses and improve learning. Next is evaluation. Evaluation refers to the process of judging the quality of student learning on the basis of established performance standards and assigning a value to represent that quality. Evaluation is has been learned of the student. So, judgmental, it arrives at overall scores, like judge the quality of the performance of the students. And next is like ang evaluation kay mao gini siyang the process of making judgment, assigning value, or deciding the worth. What is the primary purpose of assessment and evaluation? The primary purpose of assessment and evaluation is to improve student learning. Aron daw kuno ma-improve ang learning sa usa ka student. With that, like ma-know sa teacher ang mga need og improvement sa usa ka student, ilang mga weaknesses, matabangan sila sa teacher nga mag-guide sila. Information gathered through assessment and evaluation helps teacher to identify students' difficulties as well as to detect weaknesses in programs. There are two ways to gather the on how to measure student learning. First is the summative assessment. Summative assessment, this is the tasks, quizzes, and other graded course activities that are used to measure student performance. They are cumulative and often reveal what students have learned at the end of a unit or end of a course. Within a course, summative assessment includes the system for calculating in individual students' grade. It is a test like nga mahitabo end of the unit or chapter test. Like semester exam, state assessment. Next is the formative assessment. Formative assessment is any means by which students receive input and guiding feedback on their relative performance to help them improve. It can be provided face-to-face in office hours, in written comments on assignment, or through rubrics and through email. Examples of formative assessment are quizzes, observation, like creating graphic organizer. Some graphic organizer are Venn diagram, T-chart, story map, and lastly, classwork and homework. Mao na ang two approaches to measure students' learning. First is the summative, in which ma-test nimo siya through at the end of the unit or chapter. And the second one is the formative, in which ang formative kay through face-to-face ni siya and mag-give dayon nimo ang feedback sa duha. both of them are ways to access student learning, so need to be used to evaluate a student effectively, and it is used for student feedback. So makita jud nato ang feedback kay matest man gid nato ang usa ka student kung asa siya nagkulang. And lastly is kay mo assist siya in future planning. In what way nga ang teacher maka-give og mga strategies or technique nga ma-improve do sa student. Next is the 7 strategies for accessing student performance. So creating assignment. So need you to create assignment in which ma-test gid nimo ang usa ka estudyante nga naabot gid siya na tun-an or na learn in a way nga kanang in a way nga imo siyang makita ang performance niya sa balay o sa school. So next is creating exam. So in creating exam, need yun siya sa students nga strategies. Kay dira man nimo matest kay like mga summative exams, post exams, pre-test. So dira nimo makita ang mga like unsa ray kalahian sa first nga paghatag nimo sa test and the last nga post test nga kanang nahibal-an na nila ang imong topic. So using classroom techniques, using concept maps, which is mao na tong mga Venn diagram, T-chart, in which sa concept map ma-organize ang information sa student. Next is using concept test. This is the assessment group work. So need yun ang assessment group work kay aron ang learners maka-learn with each other. So dili lang kay sa iyahang opinion but also na kabalo siya sa opinion sa other student. So creating and using rubric, so very important yun ni sila aron naay mahibal-an ang students what are kanang mga rubrics nga ilang dapat sundon in a way nga mahimo na nila nga activity. So there are considerations for measuring student learning. First is designing tasks that provide student with a variety of ways to demonstrate their learners. So mag-designate ka og mga tasks nga in which dira nimo makuan ang ma-provide sa every student kung unsa ang kinahanglan nila mahibal-an. So imo jud kailangan kana mag-search gid ka about sa needs sa students o asa ra ilang limit or strengths. So mao gid nang naay SWOT. So makuha nimo ang strength, weaknesses, opportunities and threats sa usa ka student. Next is observing student as they perform tasks. So very need yun niya ang observing kay in which maka-give dayon ka og feedback on what actions that need to be improved by your students. Next is posing question to help student make their thinking explicit. So yes, very very useful yun ni ang pag question sa usa ka student in which maka-criticize sila og mga very good answers and nga mga answers nga mas mabaid ang ilang utok. Next is small group conversation that encourage students to articulate what they are thinking and further develop their thinking. So assessment is the heart of education. Without it, we don't know how well students are doing, their strength, and what they need to work on. So in this statement that ang assessment daw kuno kay heart sa education. So pareha ra gyud na siya sa usa ka tawo. Without heart we can't breathe, we don't know how to love others. And so pareha ra siya sa assessment kay because without assessment dili mahibaw-an ang mga 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 progress sa usa ka student sa on how they work, what are their strength, and what they need to work on. And that's all for my report about assessment and evaluation of the student.